Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, here's that 994 that arrived today, and I've done some very cursory touch-up and cleanup on it. And as you can see, this looks almost new. Not quite, but almost. And I've oiled the finials, of course, the domes, and so by tomorrow, 90% of this rust will very likely be gone. This is all just surface rust. But you can see how glossy this is. This is 2 drops of motor oil after I touched up the paint. So you can see that all the chipped paint is gone. I left the original light bulb in it. Haven't changed that yet. Lubed and tuned, straightened out the bent frame. And there's a spot of paint right there that I have not touched up yet. I just got that straightened out. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video on this. This is in really decent condition. A Marx 994, 1952. So this is, how old is that? 67 years old, something like that. In really, really decent condition. 15 bucks on eBay. And as you can see, this looks quite good. And the nice thing about it is I didn't really have to do anything to it. Just a bit of touch-up. Everything else was just cleaning it and lubricating it. Anyway, let's turn the power on. I just got this put back on the rail. I just wanted to do a follow-up video on this. Let's take this around, still pulling 14 Marx cars. And as you see, that's running just absolutely perfectly. 50% power. So it runs nice, it looks nice. In fact, it looks really good. So just a quick follow-up video. So Marx 994 in really, really decent condition. It's not perfect, but it runs nice, and the original paint is actually quite good. Still have a lot of original gloss on it. So it's been stored well. Hard to believe this is almost 70 years old. And the nice thing about it, of course, is I didn't have to really do anything to it. A few drops of oil, some cleaning, some TLC, touched up a few dinks in the paint, and it's running good. It looks nice. An old original Marx locomotive. 15 bucks. You really cannot beat the price. You know, that's one nice thing about eBay. If you go to a train shop, if they have one of these things, they're going to want 100 bucks for it. Just ridiculous prices. And that's the one nice thing about eBay, of course, is you can get this stuff pennies on the dollar of anything else. Even other Marx locomotives that you find at train stores. You know, I found out a long time ago that you don't want to buy a Marx locomotive or Marx anything from an antique store or a train shop, because all they do is gouge you. You can find really, really decent stuff on eBay at really decent prices, and you can set up a really nice layout. Minimum of money, as long as you're willing to get your hands dirty. You know, buy stuff that's less than perfect and get it running. And in this case, it didn't take anything at all. You know, a 4-inch screwdriver to take it apart, soap and water, a soft brush, a few drops of oil. That is really it. So this is running just splendidly. The E-unit has no hesitation at all, no buzzing, no thumping. It works just absolutely perfectly. So it looks nice, it runs well, and it was really, really cheap. Really difficult to beat that combination. So just want to do a follow-up video on this. You know, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. By tomorrow, this is going to look almost new. I mean, not quite, but it's going to look really, really nice. You know, I can get 99% of the surface rust off just by letting the oil soak into it overnight. I touched up the paint and oiled it. This is a couple of drops of oil. You can see it is shiny, shiny black. And it still had a lot of original gloss on the paint, which is one of the main reasons I bought it. You don't usually see an original 994 that's still shiny. In most cases, they are really, really dull where the paint has oxidized over the years. And in this case, it looks nice, it runs well, there's not a speck of rust on the push rods, as you can see. And if you actually sat down with a toothbrush and brushed some oil into those wheels and actually spent some time on this, you could make this look almost new. And it looks quite good, as you can see. I mean, I don't think anybody would object to owning this 994. This is a big original Marx locomotive. Single reduction motor, of course, so it's pretty limited in what it can do, but it's pulling 14 cars with no problem at all. You could put 2 traction tires on this and pull probably 30 tin litho cars with it. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video on this. It looks nice, it runs really, really well, and it was really, really cheap. 15 bucks on eBay. It's really difficult to beat that. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.